back to another episode of the Nursing Now podcast. My name is Janelle McSwiggan. I'm your host, and I have my dear friend Farrah Lawrence here today. And she is a nurse career coach. Her brand is Nurses Making Money Moves, and she's here to tell you why. Farrah, thank you so much for coming on to talk to me today.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. I know we've been following each other for quite some time. So yeah, I'm just so excited to be here and to talk about all things, personal branding, business, nurses leveling up their career, all about that. Yeah. So thank you for inviting me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. And for those that don't know Farrah, she is an absolute whiz in this. I've been watching her just build her career and go through different platforms where she's speaking. She's really eloquent. She knows a lot about this. So really, she's a gem in this area. So
Thank
Farrah,
you.
anytime. Can you tell us a little bit more about what you do as a nurse career coach and what you offer?
Yeah, so just to give the audience some context quickly, so I've been a nurse for over 20 years. I started my career in Canada, and I tell the story, kind of my origin story to this. I wanted to be an ER nurse in nursing school, but of course, most clinical instructors and professors will say, no, 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 you can't do that. So literally, my professor laughed at me and said, I'll never be an emergency nurse, in my face, like laughed at me. And it really crushed me for a moment. Then I was like, wait a minute, like who's this lady to tell me I can't do it? So literally, as a nursing student, I got hired in the ER. Not only did I get hired into the ER as a nursing student before I even took my boards and started working in there 2 days after graduation when all my friends were still looking for jobs. And I got two offers in two of the main emergencies. There were only two main emergencies in that city. This was back in Canada 20 years ago, which we didn't have residency programs at that time at the place I worked at. So this is for all the new grads and nursing students. Like, you can do whatever you want. And this is what led me to start this nurse career coaching business. And what I do is, I thought in the beginning, because naturally over the 20 years, I was always a preceptor, naturally fell into like that coach, mentor type, mama bear for the nursing students. I'm like, hey, be nice to them, because I always took them on. And then naturally went into education, got my master's in education. And I was like, I want to be an educator because I want to be a cool educator that inspires these nursing students and tell them, hey, you could do whatever it is you want. You don't have to do the old, traditional, boring, whatever it is they're telling you to do. You could be innovative and start where you want. You don't even have to start in a hospital. So that's kind of where that passion came from. It led from my own personal experiences, challenges, and adversities. So literally, I thought I was going to be doing technical things like just doing resumes only and just doing like interview skills, but it's much more than that. I'm actually transforming their lives and their like mindset. Two of the biggest things they always talk about is how now their perception has changed, their mindset has changed, and then their confidence has increased. So those are the two biggest things we kind of work on. And then them just learning like, hey, it is possible. I am enough. I'm a badass nurse. I can do whatever I want. So that's kind of like, what I help them do.
And I've seen you work with so many nurses. I've read through your recommendations. I remember when I first hopped on LinkedIn and you were like, you made this post and you were like, if you don't believe me, go read my recommendations. And I did. I went and through your recommendations and I was like, holy moly, this lady has like 4 pages of recommendations, but they were so great and spot on. And they just talked about how supported you were and how successful you were in helping them succeed and beating their imposter syndrome and really like lifting up the community in that way. So everything you do is so supportive in that way. And the way that you called yourself a mama bear, like, yes, I see that in your posts all the time. You're endearing, but you're fierce and you're also very forthcoming in your knowledge. The videos you post are very spot on. So if
Thank you.
anyone isn't already following Farrah on her social medias, we'll have that stuff in the show notes and everyone should be because she drops fire tips all the time. Yeah, her knowledge is straight away. And you're actually
Thank you.
having a conference coming up, which we are so excited about. So let's chat about that too.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So, former ER nurse, we're very impulsive, right? We're always like shiny object syndrome. And also, like, I think we're pretty, fearless and like like not listening to negativity and doing what we want to do. So basically, I follow a lot of millionaires, marketers, and someone I follow a lot. Her book is actually over there. I wish I could reach it. Is Rachel Rogers. She has a huge event coming up in January called ROI. And there's gonna be like millionaire heavy hitters on this lineup. So basically, I was watching her thing, and I couldn't go. I couldn't go. I was talking to my husband, but we have two kids, and I'm like, I really want to go to Cali and go to this, but just wasn't able to do it. So then I was like, you know what? Instead of feeling like bummed out about this, I'm gonna throw my own event. If I can't go, I'm gonna bring the people to me. So I just recently moved to Tampa like 3 months ago. And, I didn't really share this, but I just recently got laid off in August. And it's been literally, I've been laid off, I would say, over the last like 4 to 5 years, 3 times because of my advocacy, my passion for excellence and quality and safety and like holding people accountable, even up to the C-suite. Like I have no problem emailing the CEO, and some people don't like that. So, because my values are like my values and I stand in my integrity. So I think sometimes certain places, they want you to conform and like do what they want to do. But if it comes to patient safety, like I don't play. So as a director of education and all that, I was like, I need to do something that is in alignment with my values. So recently laid off, moved to Tampa. I was like, you know what? Tampa's an awesome place, wonderful place. I'm going to throw an event in downtown Tampa. I chose the Museum of Art. If you've ever seen this museum, Tampa Museum of Art, it is beautiful. It's like floor to ceiling windows on the waterfront, 8 minutes from the airport, and centrally located to like all the hotels and like stuff to do downtown. Super cool city. So I was like, I don't want to do the traditional like hotel, like, hey, no hate to the people that have conferences and hotels. They're great conferences, but I just wanted to do something a little different. I love art, love photography and all that. So I was like, this is cool. And you can't miss the venue. Like in big letters, it says Tampa Museum of Art. Like you're not going to get lost. And then it just shows like the innovative side. So the whole conference theme is how to use your personal branding, visibility, and network to make money moves, whether you're in your professional career, you want to level up, like maybe get a different, whether you're a nursing student, whether you want to go into leadership, education, whatever, or if you're an aspiring nurse entrepreneur that wants to start a business, or maybe like us, right? We started with side hustles. Start with a side hustle, how to make that into a main hustle, because a lot of nurses struggle with that, right? You have a, writing business, which is awesome. Guys, follow her. She's amazing with all her tips. But it's tough working full time, trying to build a business, and then you have a family to juggle it all. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw this conference. It's going to be lit. I already have all the speakers. Precious L. Williams is going to be the keynote. She's spoken at like Fortune 500 companies, like Microsoft, Verizon. She's the killer pitch master and the rainmaker. So she's going to teach us how to pitch, whether it's for an interview or how to pitch to investors or, starting that business. She's going to be there talking about that and how her personal brand has evolved. I have Shanae Moray, who's my marketing coach and has like close to 1 million followers on LinkedIn, talking about visibility and how to really set yourself up for success on LinkedIn. Because LinkedIn is the place to be, y'all. B2B, business to business or business to consumer. The people got to be on LinkedIn. Okay. That's right. That's my favorite spot. And then I'm going to have Teresa Sanderson, who's huge with like YouTube marketing and helping with CEUs, a bunch of things like that. So she's going to talk about how to turn really your expertise into profits wherever you are. And then we have Dr. Kiana Jones, who owns her own med spa. So she helps nurses and nurse practitioners, develop med spas and again, turn it into profits. She's a genius. She holds her own events. And then who else do we have? Oh my goodness. We have the chair of the entrepreneurship program and professor at the University of Tampa. She is an award-winning, professor. She wrote a book. all these people on the headline could literally just be keynotes themselves. So
Mm.
I say thank you, God, for putting all this together because God is my event planner. Okay, it's just me, y'all, me and God. That's it. And then a couple of people helping me out with some tips. I'm telling you, just the nursing community has been amazing with supporting. So thank you for supporting and everybody else. And then we have Alice Benjamin. She's America's favorite nurse. You know her, Alice.
I don't think I don't.
She You know her. She was a bit on Dr. Oz and like all over the news.
Okay, maybe if I saw her, maybe if I saw her.
And then we have Renee Lindo, who's from Toronto. She's going to be a stylist and talking about personal style and branding in terms of like how to show up in your image and how to, dress the way you want to be addressed. So she's coming through with that. And I hope I'm not forgetting anybody. I think, yeah, there's like 8 speakers. And then there's going to be a big panel of other, speakers. So guys, it's going to be fire. There's going to be cocktail hour from 5 to 7. I'm going to get a female DJ because this is all surrounding women empowerment. It's on Women's International Day on March 8th, 2025. So it's going down.
And this came together so quickly. I've also been
like a week.
Yeah, I've been telling Farrah for years she's a force, like an absolute force of a person. And this is just evident in her ability to throw this together. So when she said that she was throwing a conference, I was like, yes, you are. And then she came and just whipped it together so quickly.
But wait, let me tell you the backstory between the ROI and between me deciding, right? I called up someone, I'm not going to say the person's name, but she's somebody that I admired in nursing, who's also a business leader and been around in the game for a long time. Anyways, I reached out to her. I was grateful she reached back out to me to speak to me. But she kind of like, was not the most positive. And I appreciate her realness because she was like, I don't think it's a good idea. She's like, I've been throwing events for years. She's like, if I were you, I wouldn't do this. She's like, it's near the holidays. I don't think you'll get much people like to come. But she's like, don't let me stop you. Do your thing. And I was like, okay, all right. So it's like more motivation for me to like.
Yeah, you're like, literally nothing can stop me. I'm Farrah the Force. Like nothing stops me. This is just motivation to my kindling fire right now.
With my 2 kids. This is me at night creating like content. Like it's real. But mom life, entrepreneur life, whatever. You just got to do what you got to do. And I'm all about creating community and impact. And like, there's a lot of nurses out there who are tired, right? They're tired of their daily, whatever's happening, whether they're at the bedside, whether they're in leadership, toxic places, or they want something different. And I'm not saying everybody, but like 2025, like is the time to make that change. And this conference is where you need to be at. And it's not just nurse entrepreneurs. There's going to be some heavy hitters in the nursing game, like heavy leadership people that are going to be there, like nurse executives, so it's a good place to network. Yeah.
Yes. And we've been talking a lot on here about the importance of networking. Almost every single episode I've asked, like, do you have any tips for nurses that are thinking about doing what you're doing? And almost everyone has said network. So conferences are a huge place to meet people. So if anyone's on the fence, definitely consider it.
Yeah. And then, a lot of people, you could do a lot of like virtual options to meet people, but there's nothing honestly like an in-person event. So this is why I'm so excited to, do this first conference. And I know that I'll be throwing more events. So definitely look out for more. And yeah, I'm like March 7th, 2026. It's going down too.
It suits your personality so well too, to do this. Like you would definitely do this and you would plan it in like 3 months too. Like, so quick. Even you told me the date and I was like, March? Are you sure? Like,
yeah.
You don't mean like May or something else? No, March.
Yeah, but everyone's been super supportive and positive. So that's one thing I will say is like, yes, listen to feedback from people that you kind of trust and, are doing kind of similar things that you want to get to. But go with your gut and just, don't let people stop you from doing what you really want to do. Whether it's starting a podcast, whatever it is, start small, do it, but take action. Don't just keep thinking about it for like 3 years and then never doing anything.
And ask for help too. You said the nursing community is supportive.
Yes.
We are so supportive, especially on LinkedIn. Like if you actually network and build those authentic connections, we are so
Yeah.
ready to help one of our own whenever they need it. So
Yeah. And one way that I'll share that is a great way to network is what you're doing now, is your podcast. So if you're a nurse listening, either start your own podcast. If you don't want to do that, just podcast jump because
mm,
you'll meet so many people that way, make connections. So yeah.
yeah.
And I have my own podcast, The Nursing Goes with Farrah.
Farrah
Subscribe.
does have her own podcast too. So if you guys are looking for that, definitely hop on over there. Yes, nurses making money moves. If you guys can't see it, that's her brand, and it's a really fun brand. Farrah goes to conferences, and she has a really fun booth. I go to conferences, and I'm really boring. Farrah
No,
is definitely the more fun one out of us. You can tell who's the nurse writer and who's throwing conferences over here.
I missed you at the NNBA. I wish I could have went last year. But I'm sure we'll meet in person very soon.
I know, and I'm bummed that I'm not going this year too. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
2026 for sure.
So the NNBA, the National Nurses and Business
Yes.
Association, is another great resource for nurses as well interested in business. So shout out to Dr. Nana Hart.
Yeah, it's killer. It's killer. If people haven't heard of it, they offer like a newsletter, really comprehensive tips, and wonderful like mentorship opportunities too. They're really forthcoming and they have an amazing conference too. Farrah
July.
didn't go last year. I'm not going this year, but maybe 2026 is our year to hang out at that conference. And it's the speakers there are wonderful too, and it's a great place to network as well there.
Yeah, yeah.
And Farrah, I think, is actually speaking at that one, right?
Yeah, they haven't like announced the full thing, but I'm pretty sure that I will be. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
you can expect her to be bringing her fire there. Um, so any tips for nurses that want to switch careers and they're feeling lost or they're feeling like they can't do it or they're just, they're just unhappy. Any tips for those people? Like you have so many tips all the time.
Yeah, I would say number one is just take time off, right? If possible, whether it's like a couple days or take some time away to really reflect on what it is you want to do. Number two is highlight and find out what type of lifestyle do you want to lead, right? That you want to live. Like if you have kids, I have two kids, it's tough to really travel a lot all the time to like say, do different things, but like you just have to see what it is that you want to do. Like if you want something different, you want to have flexibility, then maybe working full-time in a hospital where you have to do shift work may not be for you. Maybe you might want to do an outpatient setting, or maybe
Mm,
you want to do freelance writing on the side or whatever it is. But find out what type of a lot of nurses I know want to go remote these days for flexibility with their kids and families or whatever. So find out what type of lifestyle you want to live first, and then build your career around that. Second, your skills are always changing, right? So you're always learning. So keep stacking up your skills, and then figure out what skill set you're best at and what you enjoy doing. Like for me, I hate operations. I'm just telling you right now. I'm not an operations person. I don't like Excel sheets, sitting down for long periods. I mean, if I have to do it, I'll do it, but I hate it. I'm sorry.
yeah.
I,
No, I
I,
hate Excel. I
I
can't do
went
Excel at
to
all.
my doctoral program. I don't even know how I got through all that research, but I enjoy some of it. I'm
Yeah.
just more of a visionary, more action, like more people person networking,
Hmm.
dealing with the new grads, like helping nurses transition to practice is like my jam, and helping them, create healthy work environments where we're supporting, retaining nurses. Like I'm all about helping nurses be happy, right? Whatever that is. So
Yeah.
I think those are the big thing. And then mentorship, just get multiple mentors, um, and then just try things out. If you don't like it, you could change. That's the beauty of our profession. There's so much to do.
Yeah, I definitely agree with getting mentors. You don't know what you don't know until you ask and you find someone that's 10 steps in front of you. I've asked you questions before. I ask other people random questions all the time, super quick questions. And it's profound the answers that people have given me. and the insight really shapes my path going forward. So mentorship is super important. And then yes, you can leave at any time. I think nurses get so pulled to their current job and what will happen if I leave to my patients. Someone else is going to take care of them. They're not going to not get their meds. Like you're
Right.
not going to abandon them.
The one thing I see a lot of nurses like feel guilty or they want to look
Yes.
good on their resume. Like I need to be there a year. I'm like, I don't know who told you that, but you don't because mental health wise, if you need to leave, you need to leave. Um, and find something else. And it can take anywhere from 3 to 6 months legit to find a new job. So don't keep waiting because you're just going to
Mhm.
keep getting more burnt out. So, reach out to me if you're interested. I'm a nurse career coach. Or if you want to do writing, reach out to Janelle. She's amazing. You could do some freelance writing. And like she's turned it into her main hustle. Like,
Mhm.
proud of you. You're doing amazing. I mean, it's just whatever it is that you love to do, find the way to get there. And sometimes someone might tell you, hey, like maybe an OR nurse is good, but then an OR job, you go to the OR and you realize you hate it. So
Mm.
you just have to try it out for yourself too sometimes just to see. Yeah.
Yeah, I've tried so many different types of writing and I'm like, oh, I hate that. I will never do that again. But now
Yeah.
there's a word to that evil deliverable and I can watch out for it for next time and I
Yeah.
won't take that again.
Yeah.
So trial by fire, I'm famous for that. But we don't know what we don't know, right? The same
Yeah.
way that we seek out mentorships, sometimes you also seek out a not great job and then you learn.
Yeah. That's it. You just learn. And there's just being adaptable and just learning. Once you have your purpose and what impact you want to make, you'll always have direction as to what direction you should go into. Yeah.
So, if a nurse comes to you and they're unsure of what to do you kind of coach them based on their like skill set and maybe their interest, and you guys kind of work through a session together? And then do you help them with the resume process as well? Do I have that right?
Yeah, yeah. So the first thing really we get clear on, is getting crystal clear on their what it is they want to do. So clarity. Sometimes they think they might want to do something, but it's like total opposites. I'll give you a quick example. Some new nurses come to me and they're like, I like critical care and I love either the ER or the ICU. And I'm like, they cannot be more different from each other. They're both critical care, but it's two different types of people. Can you do both? Probably, but you're gonna like one space better than the other. So I really ask a lot of questions. We dig deep into their personality, their personal, kind of not too personal, but you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
their likes and upbringing, what brought them to nursing. Typically, there's a real story behind why they went into nursing in the first place, and we dig deep in there and like find out what that is. And sometimes they're a little bit surprised as to like what they really want to do. So it's also like not following the traditional look, oh, maybe I should be a nurse practitioner. Nothing wrong against that, but explore different options. So we explore different options and I really get to know them personally, like their personality, and I give them the feedback because I've worked pretty much everywhere. I worked in Canada, I worked in the ER, worked in multiple states, Michigan, New York, New Jersey, held different roles from travel nurse to director of education to leadership. So I have a good sense of what most people do to kind of give them that feedback. So yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you've worked in most of these roles, and I feel like you would have to really understand it. Um,
Yeah,
and I
but the
love that.
resume, sorry, the resume
Go ahead.
cover, I teach them how to use AI to get keywords, how to make it more efficient. So it's easy. So like we work through how to make them efficient in like doing what they have to do and building their personal brand on LinkedIn. Literally, I'll tell you this case study. I helped one nurse create a video, an introduction video. She posted it in the evening. She was from Cali. In the morning, she texted me and she's like, look at this. A recruiter messaged her after seeing her video and said, you should apply to this residency program. So this is how powerful visibility is and video and like sharing, your story, what it is you want to do and putting it out there. So I do a lot of LinkedIn strategy and how to even outreach, not just apply and sit back. Like you got to be proactive. So
Yeah, especially on LinkedIn. LinkedIn's my jam. It's always been my jam.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a nerdier person, so I was never going to be like Instagrammy. It was always
I
going to be.
don't, yeah, I don't understand Instagram too much. Like I put some stuff there, but I could barely figure out how to use that platform.
Yeah, I'm trying to diversify now into like Instagram and YouTube, and it's
Oh,
just
YouTube is good. I gotta get over there. Yeah.
yeah, I'm getting like the growth is going on YouTube, but it's so like clickbaity, like all the titles you're like,
You're doing
wowza,
short
look at
forms?
this. Short
Short
form
form?
and long form, both.
Yeah.
I'm doing
Yeah,
both.
it's good to do the long form so then you can, repurpose and have shorter. So I need to get
Totally.
better at YouTube, but you know, we'll get there in a bit.
Yeah, oh my gosh. You're like conquering the world over there. So like there's only so many things that you can do, Farrah. You're on Glassdoor too, and those videos are great that I've been seeing on there.
Thanks, you too. Yeah, high five. Whoop.
Yep. Yep, I guess. Yeah, I didn't even think like I forget that Glassdoor is a platform too. But yeah, I'm
There's a
looked at
lot
it.
of nurses there. I need to probably make more videos on there because they ask a lot of good questions, which you could technically take some of their questions and like create content from that. So I need to do more of that.
Yeah. Yeah. And Farrah's talking about doing like market research, I guess. So like seeing like what people are asking and then creating content for that.
Yep.
Reddit's another really good place to do that. There's a nursing subreddit. People ask a lot of really good questions on that one too. So
Okay.
yeah.
I'll have
Yeah, I
to
think
check
it's
it out.
called yeah, I think it's called literally like registered nurses.
Okay.
A lot
I'll check it out.
yeah, yeah. A lot of career advice like opportunities on that one. That would be a big hit for you.
Nice. And then the other big thing is like I told you, personal branding. Like my nursing clients know I'm like, do not show up to the interview wearing black, navy blue, or gray. Like, let's introduce some color and like literally stand out. Yeah.
Yep,
So
stand
we'll work
out,
on
be
all those things.
memorable. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. I just had someone redo my LinkedIn banner, and I've always done my own banner. But have you seen they're doing rotating banners now?
No, I haven't seen that, but I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, so they're introducing rotating banners. So the banner will rotate every 3 seconds, like a slideshow. So you can have multiple pain points going through. So I have
Oh,
one, yeah,
cool.
it's super cool. It's
All
not
right,
rolled out to
LinkedIn,
everyone.
leveling
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, it's not rolled out to everyone, but I guess if you can see someone's, then it means you have it. So I saw someone post on it and I was like, what is that? And I saw it, so I could do it.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna have to
But I
check that feature out.
yeah, yeah, check out mine because it's done, it's cycling through. But I was like, oh, I'll pay someone to do my banner because I feel like a 3-year-old does my banner every time. Like it's me, it's terrible. I'm just struggling through Canva. And he just couldn't get my brand colors right for so long. And I was just like, you need to stick to my colors. That's the only
Yeah,
reason
that
people know
yeah, that's
about
another
me.
big thing is like investing can help you save a lot of time too. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I just felt like it's like a good first impression. The fact they were rotating through, I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah,
But
someone
then
else.
the other thing to that, if you're a
Yeah,
nurse watching this, you want to start your own side hustle, the other good thing too, because in the beginning you're doing a lot of everything, and then
yeah.
it's like building your skills. Like for me, I was waiting for somebody to help me with my website and like do a landing page. I was like, you know what? I gotta figure this stuff out. So literally, I spent hours figuring it out. And like, if you can put up a landing page, like you may not even need a website to start out. Like, so it's not that. And if I could start a podcast, like you could start a podcast. Okay, so
I tell people that all the
I'm not
time.
that technical.
Yep, I'm not that technical either. Yep, Farrah saw it right before we hopped on the panic of a technical error on my face. I was like, I don't know
Hey,
what to do.
you're taking action. That's it. And being consistent. That's all that matters. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of owning your own business is personal growth, figuring it out on the go.
Yep. Yep. And then
But
networking. So that's why you need to come to
yeah,
Tampa
I know, I
to
know.
the Nurses Making Money Moves Conference, March 8th.
I know. It's
You
such
know
a
I'm a self promote.
all right, Farrah, that's about as much time as we have today. Do you have any parting
Awesome.
words for anyone?
Just do it. Just start today. And the lesson that I learned is which I don't take my own advice sometimes is like it doesn't have to be perfect. Just get it done. So like 80% out the door is better than 100% in the drawer. That's from Alan Dibb right there.
That is perfect. Words to live by. Farrah Lawrence, nurse career coach. Thank you so much for coming on. It's
Thank
been a pleasure.
you. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Anytime.
It was fun.
Okay. This has been your Nursing Minute.